We are 1 week in, well, a little more than a week into the Average Joe Turned Pro. What we're doing right now is golf. So I'm just going to do a 1 week check-in, let you guys know how I'm feeling about my progress and the things that I've been working on and stuff like that. So when we started this, I didn't have a coach set up right away, so I was still reaching out. So I got a little bit of the taste of trying to do what YouTube does. And man, I gotta say, having a coach is so refreshing. So for those couple days that I didn't have the coach come with me, John, who's been helping me if you've seen the other videos. So there was one thing he immediately wanted me to work on for these 2 months. We were at T-Box at the time, so we couldn't technically work on it there, and it was chipping and putting. While we were at T-Box, because we were there, we decided to work on my setup and my stance, and my setup basically for hitting my irons. And he talked about how the setup is going to be the same for chipping and for chipping. So we worked on that at T-Box, and it took me. So before that lesson, I would say I was hitting my 9-iron on average 130 yards. If I were to go to a course and I was on a par 3 and it was 130 yards away, I was hitting my 9-iron. And so when we were talking about it, he was saying, usually pros or most really good golfers hit their 9-iron 150 yards on average. And so at the end of that lesson, my very first lesson, with just one thing that he was having me change with my stance, I was hitting my 9-iron 150 plus, the longest I hit, and it was a really good hit. Like I have to say, I wasn't even trying to hit it super hard. I would just swing in, controlling my body, letting the club do the work, just guiding the club to where it needed to be, and I hit the ball 162 yards, I believe. So that was awesome. That was my only lesson, so I went back to T-Box and I would do 5 hits in a slow swing, so like a quarter, half swing. I would have to do 5 hits perfect, and then once I did that, I would up the swing to 80, 90%, and then I'd have to hit 5. I would have to do that 5 times, hitting the ball perfect 5 times, and then I would go up a club. So started with the pitching wedge, then I would go to the 9-iron. Once I did 5 and 5 there, I would go to the 8-iron and so forth. And that's helped a lot. I noticed I went and played a round of golf this last Monday, and my irons felt pretty good. Obviously, I'm still learning. I'm new into the process, and so there was a lot of mishits and a lot of bad shots that I still did as a guy shooting in the hundreds. And I did notice him talking and wanting me to do chipping and putting focus when I was on the course. That's where most of my strokes were added from. I would get around the green and I would be like, all right, let's chip it on, try and get it close. And I would duff it and it would go 5 feet in front of me and I'll have to chip it again. Or I'd blade it and it would go screeching across the green and then I would have to chip again. So I definitely agree with him on that as far as chipping and putting is going to be my focus for the rest of this time. I will go probably once or twice a week to T-Box. Shout out to T-Box. And while I'm at T-Box, I will be doing that same practice of 5 hits and five half swings, 5 almost full swings, and just trying to get that feel down for those irons pretty well. I'm going to go play around tomorrow. I just got done with the chipping lesson, so that video will come out after this one. And that was a big help, and so that's what I'm going to focus a lot on and try and get really good at that. And then we'll talk about more nuances with chipping and putting as far as, in the video we talk about like where the ball is in the grass, but that's not what I'm focusing on right now. And then we'll get into more kind of nuances of different positions that you could be in when you're chipping and putting. So how I'm feeling after 1 week plus a couple days, I feel really good. I mean, my confidence is up. I feel like I have a really good road in front of me to progress. I still have a month and a half to work on my game, a month and a half plus a week or two. to really work on my game and get as good as I can. And honestly, I think I'm going to blow Braden out of the water. I don't think he really has a chance to. I think he will get better, but yeah, as far as having a coach and really directing you into what you need to do, and as far as and not just chipping and putting, because people online can say, hey, you need to work on chipping and putting, but what aspect of chipping and putting do I really need to work on? Like in the video, you'll see like, how do I need to set up for this? Where do I need to be worried about this? What about my there's so much stuff out there, and when your coach can narrow it down to 3 to 4 things or just one thing that you're working on, I mean, it was crazy. When I was at T-Box, you'll see in the video, the old video, when I was at T-Box, and he just had me work on my my setup, my not my stance, yeah, my setup into the swing before I even did anything. He was just de-loft the club, put your hands forward, get the straight line through the club up through your arm, and just stuff like that. That fixed everything that I thought I was having a problem with. And so yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it. If you guys have any questions, things you want to ask me or John, drop them in the comments and let me know. Like and subscribe. You don't have to.